everyone. In this video, I want to share with you how to use nutrition and supplementation to become fertile if you're not fertile right now. And of course, this is a very delicate subject, and a lot of you out there may be watching this because you've been trying to get pregnant and it's a very emotional time for you. So what I'm going to share is how I used nutrition to regain my menstrual cycle when I was not menstruating for about 2 years due to chronic illness. I was diagnosed with autoimmune arthritis and chronic Lyme disease, and because of those chronic illnesses, I was not fertile and my menstruation stopped for about 2 years when I was in college. And I used a combination of nutrition, supplementation, herbs, and lifestyle changes to bring back my menstrual cycle and become fertile again. But today I just want to talk about the nutrition piece, and I will share some supplements that I used. And since I was able to begin menstruating again, I have had a baby, and so I'm acutely aware of the nutrition needed for pregnancy as well and for lactation. So I will say that the video will help with that if you're looking for information on that as well. And then since I've started talking about this and educating, I've been working with some women who are experiencing the same thing and working on their nutrition and supplementation. And at the end of the video, I'll mention a few supplements that I've found have helped and actually been strong enough to get a woman to start menstruating again within a couple of weeks of starting the supplement. And again, every person's going to be a little different. So as you listen to what I'm saying, take notes and then go compare your research with other sources, and of course talk to your doctor or your midwife about everything so that you can be sure that you're doing the right thing for your body. All right, I'm going to jump right in. My approach to this, to nutrition for fertility, is thinking about what nutrients does the body need to create a healthy baby. So if you're not fertile, I like to kind of think of it as, well, maybe your body doesn't have the nutrients or the lifestyle that it needs, that it knows that it needs in order to have a healthy pregnancy. So our bodies are really intuitive and really wise in that way, and your body will not allow itself to get pregnant if it's not getting the nutrients or the lifestyle that it needs to have a healthy pregnancy. So with that mindset, I looked at my nutrition and what I was eating, and I went from there. And it's a lot of stuff, so I'm going to try to do an overview so it's not overwhelming, but I did make notes for myself, so I will be looking at those from time to time. Now that I said now I've had a baby and I've been pregnant and gone through that, it requires a lot of nutrients, and I, even after researching all this, going through nutrition training and education and working on my own health, I still underestimated how much nutrition it required. And I feel like I'm playing catch up a little bit even now after having the baby, and I'm currently breastfeeding. So I'm working on that as well. So it's always a work in progress, but this is where you can start. There are some nutrients that are needed in higher amounts when you're looking at becoming pregnant and growing a baby. And those are generally a combination of minerals and vitamins here. Some of the minerals are definitely minerals that are required to build bone, because if you think about it, your body is, building another baby, and a lot of their weight is bone mass. When I look at my baby now, I think, wow, my body gave her all those minerals and nutrients to create that, and it was a lot. So did it pull it from my bones, or was I getting enough through nutrition? So making sure that you're getting a mineral-rich diet is important, and that would include minerals like calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and iron as well. Now, calcium it can be found in green vegetables, seaweed to a certain extent, molasses, dried figs, but some of the animal sources can be higher in it, and that might be For example, canned salmon and sardines with the bone in. So if you've ever had this type of food, canned fish, and the bone is in, you know it's like the real soft bone that gets cooked when it's canned, and it ends up being mushy, and you don't even notice it when you're eating almost. And that literally is the best source of minerals for building bone because you're eating a bone. And I believe that including that, if you're not a vegan, is a really important thing to do when you're trying to get pregnant or build a baby or even lactating, breastfeeding. So try that if you can. And of course, bone broth is another great source of minerals. Every batch is going to have a different amount of calcium and magnesium, of course. So those are just a few places to get started with the calcium. For magnesium, nuts and seeds and molasses, and then there's also a great supplement that I'll link to below the video called Calm. And phosphorus is high in meat, milk, if you're eating milk, and then beans, lentils, and nuts as well. And iron, of course, is in red meat. And then also you can have leafy greens with citrus. And the citrus is there to help absorb the iron from the leafy green vegetables. All right, so that's the mineral rundown. Now, there are some supplements that you can take to increase your mineral absorption or your mineral content of your food and your dietary intake. So that would be a couple of different things, which I'm actually going to link to below the video, and you can check them out and decide which one might be right for you. But those are the ones that I recommend and the ones that I've taken personally. Then another area of nutrition is the vitamins. And the vitamins that are really important for fertility, pregnancy, they are the fat-soluble vitamins, and that's because they are the ones that are really responsible for growth and development. And I can sit here and explain what each one does, which I think is important, so I'll do a little bit of that, and then I'll tell you where you can get those and what foods you can get them in. And then, again, below, I have some recommendations for supplements if you want to get some of these vitamins through supplements. So we have vitamin A, and that is for antioxidant potential, growth factor, maintaining strong bones, gene regulation, and of course we know that it's found in liver from animals, so the calf liver or the chicken liver. You can also find it in cod liver oil, which is generally a supplement that you would take, a liquid supplement. And they have so many different brands on the market. Some of them actually have synthetic vitamin A, retinol palmitate, which is shown to cause birth defects. So you want to make sure that you find a cod liver oil that does not have synthetic vitamin A. You can also get vitamin A from eggs and from butter. And of course you want to choose organic. And then I'll talk a little bit about the vitamin A from plant sources. So that is actually beta carotene, which is a precursor nutrient to vitamin A, and your body still has to convert it to vitamin A. And some studies show that we can only efficiently convert 30% of the beta carotene that we intake into vitamin A. So when you look at that nutrition label on a plant-based food, on a vegan food that has no animal protein or animal food in it, and it says vitamin A content, it's actually beta carotene. And so you're going to have to look at that and cut it by 2/3 and say that you're probably only going to actually convert 1/3 of that amount into vitamin A. So plant sources are not as high as they may look on the nutrition label. So just keep that in mind, because vitamin A is really, really important for having a baby and for being fertile. So this is actually one of the important nutrients for becoming fertile if you're not right now. Okay, now that's the first fat-soluble vitamin, vitamin A. Vitamin D is another one, and that's for immune system support. It places calcium. It tells your body where to put the calcium, and you can get that obviously from sunlight. So if you spend 10-20 minutes a day in the sunlight, at least, more would be better. And then you can also get vitamin D from, again, sardines, mackerel, salmon, fish eggs, regular chicken eggs and liver, like again the chicken liver and beef liver that I mentioned above, and cod liver oil also has vitamin D. So if you're eating dairy, raw milk, unpasteurized from a very reputable source, you can find that on realmilk.com, and all of those are great sources for vitamin D. Then we have another fat-soluble vitamin, vitamin E, and that works as an antioxidant. It also supports a healthy immune system, and it can balance hormones. So again, really important for fertility and for growing a baby. And vitamin E can be found in palm oil, grass-fed animal fats, almonds, sunflower seeds, avocado, mango, wheat germ, butternut squash, broccoli, and a handful of other fruits and vegetables. Okay, and then vitamin K2 is kind of a new vitamin that's being talked about. It's not new, but it's newly being talked about a lot, and it helps tell your body where to put calcium as well. And vitamin K2 is not easy to find in the diet, but in cultured fermented foods is where it's highest. So that does mean a lot of the dairy products, the ferments, sauerkraut, your bacteria in your intestines, the probiotics in there, they will produce vitamin K for you, but the amount is not known. So it's always good to have perhaps a supplement, and I will link to the supplement that I use below as well. And there are a few more vitamins here. Let's see. Moving on from the fat-soluble vitamins, we have biotin, or vitamin B7, and that one is involved, it's a component of the enzymes that metabolize carbohydrates and fats, influencing cell growth, and they affect the amino acids involved in protein synthesis. So it's a mouthful, but it's an important one for fertility and for pregnancy. Biotin is again synthesized by the intestinal bacteria like vitamin K2, but again, no studies on how much, so it's good to get it in your diet as well, and you can get it from beef or chicken liver. It's the highest source, and then eggs, avocado, salmon, cauliflower, and a handful of other fruits and vegetables. And then the next one and the last one that I'm going to mention in this video is folate, or vitamin B9, and that one prevents neural tube defects. It's better known as folic acid. Deficiency in this can cause anemia in the mother as well, which you do not want when you're thinking about fertility. So you want to have really healthy, robust red blood cells, and lots of them, to help oxygenate your body and carry iron and nutrients to all of your cells. So B9 also essential for the body to make DNA, RNA, and metabolize amino acids needed for cell growth. So again, really important for building a baby, and it's found in liver, legumes, beets, and dark leafy greens. And you should also be matching that with glycine-rich foods like muscle meats and eggs in order to properly absorb it. So that's just a quick rundown of the minerals and vitamins that are really important and some of the foods that you can get them in. And again, I'm telling you this because when you're thinking about how do you get your fertility back, how do you start menstruating again, or how do you improve your fertility if you're already menstruating and you're not getting pregnant, you need to be eating all of these nutrients, because that is how your body is going to know that it's going to be supported enough to build a healthy baby. So this is one component to why you might be having trouble getting pregnant. Again, there's a lot of different reasons, including environmental toxins, stress, and a whole host of other things. So this is just one small piece of it, but it can be the key that unlocks the door for you to get pregnant if it is something that you haven't been focusing on yet. So again, those are some important minerals and vitamins and the foods that you can start eating, and then your body will be flooded with the nutrients it needs, and maybe it'll flip the switch for you. Now, if you want to work on supplements, this is where I think I said at the end of the video, I was going to talk about some supplements that have worked for my clients in getting them to start menstruating again within a month or so of taking them. And so they're really powerful supplements, and I'm not saying that this is going to work for everyone, but I've seen it with my own eyes, and sometimes the solution can be so simple like this, and it's worth trying. So some of the supplements that can be really powerful for this are, I've talked a lot about liver in being a food that is rich in these essential nutrients. It's kind of a gross food to prepare, and if you're not interested in doing that, you can take a desiccated, dried liver capsule where you don't have to think about it. You just swallow the pill, and it's generally called desiccated liver capsules online. I'll put a link to the brand that I use below, but you do want to make sure that you find it from grass-fed animals so that the animal is the healthiest possible that you're consuming. And again, those provide essential nutrients that are going to jumpstart your body and your hormone balance so that you can hopefully become pregnant. And then you've got cod liver oil, again, liver, and it's got all of those related nutrients in it. Do not choose one with retinol palmitate or the synthetic vitamin A because, again, that can cause birth defects. The natural source of vitamin A will not cause birth defects. Glandulars are supplements that are desiccated gland organs from an animal, and they support your body's glands, so the thyroid, the adrenal glands, and a whole host of others that you can find now are the main ones, though, are the thyroid and the adrenals. And I wanted to bring those up because a lot of women are dealing with disorders related to those organs, and you can support them naturally without taking synthetic supplements or medications, and it's worth trying, I think, before you go to something synthetic. And so a company that produces those good quality would be Standard Process, and I'll link to some of those below, but it's just done wonders for supporting energy. It's supporting the organs in your body that produce hormones. So if those organs are stressed, then all of your hormones are going to be compromised, and that's going to send signal to your body that it's not time to get pregnant. So supporting your gland organs are going to be really foundational to having your fertility back. And they contain a lot of trace minerals, fat-soluble vitamins, and natural hormones from the animal that they're derived from that kind of support, nourish, and jumpstart your body's own production of those hormones, and hopefully tell your body that it's time. And then we have, what else? Obviously, you can start taking a prenatal vitamin anytime because that's going to supply your body with a lot of great nutrients. However, the brand that you take is very, very important. And I have found that only 2 brands really meet my strict criteria for what I'm okay with putting in my body, and that would be New Chapter and Garden of Life My Kind. And I'll link to those below as well. And then we have additional ones that aren't so necessary for being fertile, but for when you're pregnant, you should be taking probiotics because you want to give your body really good bacteria to start off their life with, because it's so important in almost every aspect of health as we're discovering now. And it also can help prevent group B strep, which is something that if you test positive for, you will have to take antibiotics probably, depending on your healthcare provider, throughout labor. And so if you can balance your good bacteria now, you can hopefully prevent the group B strep situation. And then for immune support as well, probiotics are really important in that. And you can get them from a probiotic supplement. And the 2 that I recommend are Hyperbiotics or Thrive, and I'm linking to those below. And then fermented foods as well, so sauerkraut, kombucha, and if you eat dairy, obviously you can have kefir. So those are foods that are naturally high in probiotics. And again, those are the best supplements, I think, for becoming fertile and having a healthy pregnancy. So again, we're talking about giving your body the nutrients that it needs when it's going to be pregnant now, so that it knows that it can have the support that it needs to grow a healthy baby. So if you're not fertile or you're not menstruating, then giving your body those nutrients is going to allow it to relax and start menstruating, start becoming fertile, and realizing that it's supported enough to have a healthy pregnancy. And that might do the trick for you. And if you want more support in this, I know I just ran down a huge long list of supplements, foods, and nutrients, but you can consult with me. I do hour consultations just to look at what's going on with you personally. So you can go to my website, clubtbych.com, and the link is below the video again if you're not already watching this on my website. So please reach out to me if you think that you need some more personal support with this. And again, check with your healthcare provider, because every woman's body is going to be a little bit different, and I want to make sure that you're being safe. So just make sure before you do anything major with your diet or supplements that you're checking out and making sure that it's all good for your body. All right, I hope that's helpful for you, and best of luck on your journey to becoming pregnant. And I hope that you'll come back, watch some more videos, and keep taking back your health, because your body is meant to be healthy.